Go live. We just finna go live early, y'all. We going live early because I cannot wait any longer. Free time popped up sooner than later. So I might as well jump on this thing, man, and talk about this shutout that the Saints just pitched us and how terrible it is to be a Raider fan right now. How terrible it is to be a Raider fan right now. Because one thing's for sure, I'm a little bit confused because I thought I heard so many weeks we had a top tier offense. We put all this investment in the offense, all this money, all these draft picks into the offense, and we dropped the ball like that. We dropped the ball like that. Shout out to B Rob, man. He says this is tragic. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy if you ask me. It's a bit ridiculous. It's a bit ridiculous. You feel me? KG says the Raiders gave us a horror movie for how. Hey, yeah, they gave us a horror movie. This is terrible. I don't know. I'm not sure where we went. I'm not sure where we went wrong, man. I'm not sure where we went wrong. Shout out to everybody pulling up. I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all out here, man. See y'all out here. I popped up a little early. It said 2:00, but I said, look, I gotta jump on real quick because the time came up, like I said, and it was a tough loss. It was a very tough loss. And I would hate to be negative. I would not want to come on here and be negative. I really like to try to be positive after a loss, try to be optimistic in some way. But honestly, at this point, I'm not really buying any of the excuses. I'm not really with any of the BS. Maybe that's because I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. I almost fell asleep during that game. I was like, I'd rather go take a nap than watch this bullshit. Um, because at the beginning of the season, guys, let's be honest with ourselves. At the beginning of the season, we expected this offense to explode onto the scene. Like we expected this offense to explode onto the scene. And the expectations for the defense was raised, of course. It's always going to be raised to have expectations for the defense. But the fact that the offense puts up zero eggs, laid an egg and put up 0 points, that it just doesn't make sense. Tarn Raider says McDaniels needs to go. Let's tank. I don't. This is what concerns me though, Tarn. I don't think McDaniels is going anywhere. I don't think McDaniels is going to go anywhere, and that's my concern. And it's most likely because you usually want to give that head coach that time. You want to give head coach the time to be able to develop his team, so they can get chemistry, so they can learn the playbook, what go, so on and so forth. You remember with Gruden, the first year with Gruden, it was bad. First year with Gruden, we won maybe how many games did we win with Gruden that first year? 3 or 4. With JDR, I think we won about 6 games maybe in that first year, maybe 4 to 6 games. And from what I understand and from what I've seen from Mark Davis is that Mark Davis usually gives his regime time. He does that. That's what Mark Davis does. Mark Davis is going to give his regime time. So I just got done watching the press conference with Josh McDaniels, and really it was a waste of time to watch it because you're just hearing the same thing. It went from we got to learn how to win to now it's we need to learn how to throw the ball. We need to learn how to catch the ball, and it seems like we're taking a step backwards when we should continuously be moving forwards, especially after a game like last week against the Texans, man. But I know I opened this up rambling, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. This is the post-game live on Raider Tape, y'all. The Raiders just lost to the New Orleans Saints 24-0, and appreciate everybody being here. If you guys can, make sure to hit that like button. Appreciate y'all, everybody pulling up on us. Now, let's hop into the comments. Let me see what the family has to say in the chat, what the nation got going on in the chat. Let me give a few shout-outs, man. Ben1904 was here earlier with us. Jared as well was with us. Alex says, fire McDaniels. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get rid of McDaniels yet. Like I was saying, Mark Davis likes to give his guys time. Rich Snyder says, Hankins trade, I knew it was a loss. Not like that, though. That looks fixed. Pros, I don't know. I don't know if the Hankins trade was that necessary. I guess going to get a 6th-round pick was that crucial. And it's whatever at this point, right? The offense was ultimately what laid the goose egg. So, B-Rod, yes, this is traffic. Top-tier offense where? I feel you. I feel you. What's cracking, man? Shout out to Pizzle 4420. You know what it is, Pizzle. Salute to my guy, NorCal Jesse, pulling up on this, man. Digital presence in the building was good with it, cuz. I see your family in the building. Lynette says, imagine how tired we are. You feel me? Look, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, not only from having to get up for work early, but from these damn losses. From these damn losses. Never would have expected us to be 2-5 at this point. I really thought we were going to go on a run, and this is why I'm so frustrated, because I really was convinced we would go on a 3-game winning streak. I feel like it lined up perfectly for us. This is where we go on a winning streak, and this is where we start putting up those dubs and get back to a 500 4-4 team. But apparently, that's not what's going to happen. B. Ross says we need a big reset, including at quarterback. And man, y'all know I defended Core. Y'all know I defended Carr for a long time. All last year I defended Carr. I can't this year. I really can't defend Carr this year. I'm sorry. Can't defend him. So, B-Rod, I feel you, man. I feel you. Shout out to Ray Love pulling up on us, man. What's good with you? NorCal Jesse. White Tyson says, we suck again. Again. He says again. Like, that's what's terrible. That's what's terrible. This was terrible, man. Let me do something real quick, though, y'all. Get this out there. Damn Raiders. Damn Raiders. Damn Raiders. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Tombstone Nation for Life says 0 points and 0 possessions in the opponent's territory. I hear you. And it's what can you say, man? We really expected the offense just to be the backbone of this team, and they just haven't done it yet. They just haven't done it yet. Roger Dangerfield, appreciate you pulling up, man. He says, this was an ass game by all players. Coaching was atrocious. Mark is going to ride with McDaniels, and it'll kill us. Yes, this is 100% true. McDaniels is going to stay here. I don't see Mark Davis getting rid of him anytime soon. He's going to at least give him until the end of the season, at the least. Shout out to Agent Red in the building, pulling up on us, man. Kevin Lurker, we've been hosed. Yeah, man, we've been hosed. Agent Red says, embarrassing effort today, unacceptable performance. 100% agree. I mean, everything that could be said about this team could be said after this game. Get your draft sheets, free agents, and head coaching list ready. Dang, super. Super Omicron. Like, the draft class is going to be defense heavy. It has to be. But at the same time, if we don't roll forward with Derek Carr, I could see us going after a quarterback. If we don't roll forward with Derek Carr, I could see us definitely going after a quarterback. Like, it's that simple. It really is that simple. Nasty Nate says offensive line was offensive. Carr was terrible. Defense can't stop shit. Devontae can't catch. Worst loss in 8 years. You're a Boyd getting drunk. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Hey, if you have to take that one extra drink just to get through this one, I definitely understand it, because it seems like that extra drink is going to be needed for the entire damn season, because I don't see us turning it around. Like, let's be honest, I don't see us turning it around. It'll be tough. Already 5 losses down. It's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be a tough one. NorCal, he says, and Carr telling everyone they did a good job. What the F? Like, yeah, I think we need a new leader, yo. I honestly think we need a new leader. It's damn near time. Is it time to move on from Derek Carr? Is it time? Let me know in the chat, bro. Is it time? Shout out to KG for the super sticker, yo. Appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. That's how you're able to get your comments shown for sure. If you guys can, we're about going on 10 minutes into this one. If you guys can, make sure to hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. If you guys are new here, make sure to hit that sub button as well. My guy says, Anish says, link with Sanjit on the live. Yeah, Sanjit. Shout out to Sanjit, man. Me and him did collab, and I did post that video. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to go check out that video. Me and Sanjit had a mid-season breakdown, and we even said in that video, we really expected this team to come out here and win multiple games, at least go on a 3-game winning streak. So it's tough to watch this. how this is unfolding. We are out scheming ourselves. We need to simplify and let our playmakers make plays. I 100% agree. Why are we running? Why are we handing the ball off to Devontae Adams on a short yardage situation? Why are we handing the ball off? Why are we faking a punt in our own territory, like backed up like that? And now you're not going to punt many times being in enemy territory. But at the same time, we were pretty backed up. We weren't even halfway. We weren't even past midfield or close to it. So the fact we went for that fake punt didn't really add up. The defense makes a stop. Okay, the defense makes a stop. Not really a stop. They put up 3, but you're already in field goal range when you get the ball back. Then you throw an interception and you put the defense back on the field. What do you expect is going to happen, especially when you're not scoring any points, not even putting up field goals? And we invested so much into this damn offense. We got an offensive head coach. We paid the quarterback, the slot receiver, the tight end. We traded for the wide receiver. And 0 points is not obviously not going to get the shit done. But when people want to sit back and Google Raiders stats and go on there and notice that it says that the Raiders offense may be top 10, you can't do that. You actually have to watch the damn games. You have to watch the damn games. And this isn't the first time we've done this. And this is why I've been so critical and criticized the damn offense, because that's where we invested. And they should be hitting on every damn cylinder. And it's very frustrating as a Raiders fan to continue to come up on here. Like, y'all understand how hard it is to come up here after a loss? When you tired, when you have to sit there and watch this atrocious ass game called football by the Raiders and try to come up here and be positive, it's hard. It really is. It really is, man. Todd Clements, shout out to TC, says Mariota's in first place. He is. He is in first place. And when you think about it, he doesn't really have a whole lot of weapons. They're just finding ways to win. They're just finding ways to win. And I think that's what our quarterback needs to do, is just find ways to win. And it's been said before, and I'll say it again, Derek Carr needs to just go out there and do what he thinks is going to be successful at the end of the day, instead of always trying to appease the coach and trying to go up to the podium and say, well, I'm doing exactly how the coach wants me to do it. I'm trying to see how he wants me to see it. And that's how Derek Carr is passing blame, in my opinion. That's when he starts to pass the blame, when he starts to say, it's the coach. I want to do it the way the coach wants it. I want to put the ball where the coach would basically want to put the ball. And the coach isn't out there, Carr. You got to go get it done at the end of the day. And there's going to be a moment in time to where we're going to have to figure out whether Derek Carr is actually a cool quarterback or if Derek Carr is a coach killer. I don't know if Derek Carr is a coach killer at this point, because he's starting to make me feel like he is, as if he is a coach killer. Okay? Are these coaches, are these regimes that have been given so much power, so much trust with this team, and they've stuck with Derek Carr? Is Derek Carr a coach killer, though? That's what I would be curious to see what you guys think about that. Is it always the coach? Has it been the coaches these last 3 regimes? JDR, John Gruden, and now we're on Josh McDaniels. Is Derek Carr a coach killer, or is it just the coaching, or is it just this team? Man, Raid, it's just one disappointment after another. Hella Papa Rich was a better coach than McDaniels all day. I mean, it's true. It's true. That's probably what we needed. We needed somebody that probably was just there as a good guy that would be able to rally this team to move forward week by week and get them ready to play some football. And maybe Derek Carr just plays better with Greg Olsen as his offensive coordinator. I don't know. But from right now, it's just looking like McDaniels is not the answer, but I don't see him going anywhere. I just don't. Tombstone says Hankins didn't even get no play with us anyways this season. Yeah, I don't think Hankins really made a difference. I don't think the defense was that much of a difference this game either. I know some people will say, oh, the defense is trash and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, the defense gave up 24 points like they did basically every single game this year. They've given up basically the same amount of points all year. 24 points. They gave up 24 to the Titans, gave up 24 today. I think they gave up 23 to the Cardinals, 24 to the Chargers, and then 23 to the Broncos. So that is 5 games this year that the defense has held a team to either 24 or 23 points. And I would expect this offense to easily score more than 24 points every single game. That's not asking for 30. That's asking for 24 points every single game. That's 3 touchdowns and a field goal. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Or that's 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. However you want to chop it up. At the end of the day, I would expect us to win those things, man. I really would. I really would. Shout out to TJC for the super chat, man. Appreciate you always pulling up. Appreciate you out here dropping a super. Mike Morris in the building. He says, I think we were all convinced, but we all got duped. Yeah, 100% we got duped. One thing I would definitely want to say is Paul I'm already calling him Paul Gunther. Is Patrick Graham another Paul Gunther? That's what I'm curious of. Is Patrick Graham another Paul Gunther? That's just crazy. Oh, Raid, $500 million offense, we can't score. Laid an egg. Yeah, 100%, bro. This is what I'm saying. We invested so much on the damn offense, and this is what they do for us. This is what they do for us. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I tried to warn people, man. I'll be honest. I tried to warn people about this offense. And really, what I really wanted to warn was that stats, when you go Google and you say, oh, the Raiders offense right now is ranked based on the stats, they're right now ranked top 5. And I kept trying to tell people, you have to take a step back and actually look at the damn game. You can't just look at the stats in Google and say, okay, this offense is top 10. This defense is bottom 10. You cannot do that all the time. Sometimes you have to take a step back and watch the damn game. And when you take a step back this entire season, it has been on the offense that we've lost all of these games. This game was just obviously an exploited game by the offense from the Saints defense. But at the end of the day, it's not like this is the first time we've seen the Raiders go out there and embarrass us. I was embarrassed after the Chiefs game when our receivers ran into each other on a 4th and 1 play to win the game, and all we needed was the field goal. I was embarrassed after that. That's when I drew the line with the offense. That's where I definitely drew the line. I drew the line with the offense, the Cardinals game, actually. But the Chiefs is what broke the camel's back, and that's when I've been criticizing the offense ever since. So this shit needs to change. We need to start investing on the defense because defense wins championships. We need to get away from this whole idea that I don't know what it is that the offense needs to be top 10 all the time. We need a top 10 defense for once. Like, let's make something happen. Jeez. Bro, this game made me sick. It's an embarrassment, bro. It's really just embarrassing. Mike Moore says, I've been right there with you with Carr's situation, but it might be time to move on. That's what I'm saying, man. It's time to move on from Carr. It really is. It really is. Josue says we having a midseason crisis. I wouldn't even say this is a midseason crisis, man. I really wouldn't. But yo, man, I appreciate everybody being here. We're about 20 minutes into the live. If you guys can, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, man. We drop content on the Raiders all the time throughout the week. So make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Make a play. Something the Raiders haven't done. Go make a play and hit the like button. Someone got to make a play today, right? Because the Raiders definitely didn't. Agent Red said they looked lost and unprepared from the jump. Definitely agree with that 100%. I'm not sure exactly why or how when you go out there and you play well against the Texans and you are at home, that's fine. And the Texans isn't that great of a team. But at the same time, the Saints came in supposedly with the 31st ranked defense, which I don't really buy that. I don't really buy that, especially when you look at last week when Andy Dalton was throwing a bunch of picks and they were scoring defensive touchdowns. That's going to go against the defense giving up points, right? So that's why them rankings are a little bit skewed. You can't always go based off of that. Dante Keller says, hey, Raid, where can I get some of those dope-ass hats? Appreciate you pulling up, man. If y'all don't know, I appreciate everybody that does know, but if you don't know and you're asking, appreciate it, man. Hit up Redemption Brand. You can check the link in the bio. This is my clothing brand that I've done. It is inspired by the Raiders, but at the same time, it's pretty universal, so everybody can rock it. But at the end of the day, these are the white and black that I have brought back with the Pillage series this time instead of the first edition. Shout out to you, man, and asking. Appreciate it. And if anybody wants to know, you can check the link in the description. It should be there at redemptionbrand.com, man. Appreciate you. Richard Snyder says, I feel your pain, Ray. Hey, we're all Raiders fans at the end of the day. We're all Raiders fans at the end of the day. Fire McDaniels, get Brian Flores. I don't know about Brian Flores, man, but, since he's a defensive guy, I wouldn't mind bringing him in, honestly. I would love to bring in a defensive-minded head coach. I really would. Jeff says, rather watch Sex in the City. I mean, you damn near just watched Sex in the City because the Raiders just got fucked. So, excuse my language, but you pretty much, that's what you watched, bro. TJC says, take away the running game and we are bottom tier. 100%. That's pretty much what it is. Take away that running game, take away Josh Jacobs' performances these last couple of games, and basically that's what would be. We'd be a bottom tier offense. That's what you'd be looking at. But at the same time, we have all these weapons for a reason, and we shouldn't be a bottom tier offense. And that's where the criticism and my frustration comes from, is the point that it says we're top 10, but we haven't been playing like it, and people really think that we are because the stat says it. And it's just appalling when you watch the games that you just can't grasp the damn concept. The fact that the Titans game was on the offense, they couldn't score any damn points. You can't even score more than 24 against the Titans. Against the Cardinals, you only put up a field goal in halftime, in the second half, and overtime combined, you only put up 3 points. Plus, you give up a defensive touchdown. So that right there alone, you lost the game for the damn team, okay? You lost the game against the Cardinals for the team. You lost the game for us against the Chiefs, okay? 2 plays on the 3rd and 1 and on the 4th and 1, you freaking blow it. You blow it, and all we needed was the field goal. We had timeouts. We had a minute and a half left to beat the Chiefs. We had 2 timeouts. We had downs to go. And all we needed was a field goal. We have one of the best kickers in the league. What happened there? Offense couldn't get it done. And today, what happened? The offense couldn't get it done. And for those people that want to always talk about the stats and the rankings, why do we have a top 5 offense ranked going up against the 2nd worst defense in the league? We don't have the 2nd worst defense in the league. Our defense is probably, the 6th, the 5th worst in the league? They have the 2nd worst. We have the 3rd best offense. They have the 7th best offense in the league. So based on, if you're one of those people that love to go off rankings, why the hell didn't we win? Or at least score a freaking point against this 31st ranked defense. All right? Yo, killing me, man. Straight killing me. Let me scroll down, catch up to the chat, man, because I know I'm a little bit behind. Shout out to Alex dropping a super. He says, no matter the quarterback, we can't win with this coach. Honestly, man, I feel like that quarterbacks, good quarterbacks, decent quarterbacks will be able to get around that. This coach, though, definitely agree with you, Alex. He be making some questionable calls. The fake punt was just uncalled for. Why call a fake there? Why call a fake punt right there, huh? Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Why call a fake punt so early in the game? And not only that, for those that think the defense is terrible, it's like, in which the defense isn't that good, let's be honest, why would you put your defense in a situation to where they would need to make a stop in their own territory, which I don't understand. Punt downs. Okay, so it was our 3rd. This is it. This was panic mode. This is how you know the panic button was hit. And I think this is where Josh McDaniels knew he was going to be in a tough situation. Because when you look at this, and I'm going to pull this up real quick so we can all look at this. You look at this and you see punt downs. It's 7-0, man. It's 7-0. Why go for a fake field goal, a fake punt when it's 7-0? And you're still in the first quarter. That's a terrible situation to put yourself in. Terrible situation to put yourself in. And not only that, even though the defense makes that stop, right? Because they're already in field goal range. The defense stops them for 9 yards. Already puts them in field goal range. They're already in field goal range when they get the ball, so they end up putting that field goal. That's fine. The offense turns around, throws a pick. So you're telling me this entire game, you got a drive that was 1:40, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 1 minute. And you expect the defense to hold them? I don't see it happening. This defense isn't good enough for that. So it's just frustrating, man. This offense isn't helping out the defense like it should. Shout out to NorCal Jesse for dropping the link. Yes, if anybody wants to know about the clothing brand, where to get the hats, where to get the t-shirts at, bro, go ahead and hit up redemptionbrand.com. Appreciate you, NorCal. Appreciate you, NorCal. Yeah, bro. They shit the bed. They shit the bed, man. They shit the bed. But yo, let's talk a little bit something about what we can do now. Let me catch up to the chat. Let's talk about how we can improve now, okay? We've already gone on the rant. I wanted to kind of get that out the way. I wanted to go on the rant. I wanted to get out the negativity. I wanted to get out of the way of, yes, we laid a goose egg, we shit the bed, all of that stuff. Now, where do we go from here, okay? We are a 2-5 football team. A 2-5 football team. All right. Now, to put this in perspective, the fact that we're a 2-5 football team, the Saints were a 2-5 football team coming into this game. They were a 2-5 football team coming into this game. They win this game. Now they're 3-5. And they're still in the thick of things in their division. Our division is a little bit different because we have the Chiefs and they're ahead of schedule as usual. But our division is still open. The AFC still open for opportunities. But I don't know how optimistic I could stay, guys. I don't know how optimistic I could stay, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a tough one. Frank in the building, he says, some of y'all are Carr fans, not Raider fans. There's a difference. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. There's definitely a difference. I think people are Carr fans and Raider fans, and also I think some people are. It's hard to say. I would just say some people get attached to players. Let's be honest. Some people get attached to players, and I think that's what ultimately happens. People get attached to players and they don't want to let them go. Same thing with Waller. I feel like people get attached to Waller, kind of like they do with Carr, and it's time to go. It really is time to go. Shout out to King Savage. He says time is up for Derek Carr, and it is. I think he's a quarterback killer, and I defended him all last year because I feel like it was necessary based on the fact the defense wasn't good and our offense really wasn't good. Our offense, we didn't have those weapons. We didn't have Devontae Adams. We didn't even have a healthy Darren Waller. We didn't even have a healthy Josh Jacobs. So the fact that we were able to still be able to muster up some wins and go out there and make the playoffs, I definitely feel like Derek Carr deserved this chance to come out here and play. But now he has kind of shown us, bro, you get your best friend, you get your college teammate, someone you do workouts with every offseason, and you're still not able to get some type of work in on the field, 0 points. So that's a tough one, man. I don't know if we're going to make any trades that could really improve this team because who wants to let go of any defensive lineman right now? Because that's what I feel like we would need. Because as far as the offense, we've done enough. We've done enough on the offense. If you can't figure out what to do on the offensive side of the ball, this is how I can say. If you can't figure out what to do on the offensive side of the ball to be successful with the weapons that we already have, with the players that we already have, we are doomed. We are doomed. We do not need to go out there and trade for a right tackle. We don't need to do that. That is ridiculous. Not every single player on your damn team is going to be a superstar elite player. Not every player on your team is going to be as good as Devontae Adams is as he is at wide receiver, or even at Renfro's level that he is at slot receiver. Every single player is not going to be that way. So we need to be able to work with what we have. Like, this is ridiculous. People, if you think that we need to go out there and make moves for the offense, the only move we need to make is to find a quarterback that can win us games with what we have. Because apparently Devontae Adams can win on a team with a very good quarterback. And they didn't have all the weapons we had. Let's be honest. You take Devontae Adams off this team, you still have great weapons. You still have great weapons. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs were good, have been good enough in the past. All of a sudden, now they're not. And you bring in Devontae Adams, and apparently he's not good enough either. So it doesn't make sense to me. Kite High says, time to move on from Carr and Josh McDaniels. With Carr, it's been years, and who in the right mind re-signed Carr after losing a wild card game? Well, I wouldn't take it that far to say who in their right mind re-signed Derek Carr after losing a wild card game. You make the playoffs. You make the playoffs. You lose in the playoffs, you're not going to be that upset, especially when you barely lose at the last minute, especially when you lose to a team that was good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. That is also continuing to show a lot of upside this year with the young talent that they have. Now, what I would say is that we are in for a decent situation with a lot of these not a lot of these contracts. I can't say that. I would say with Derek Carr's contract after this year. Now, the only conflicting thing I would say about that is where does Devontae Adams stands when it comes to Derek Carr's performance or play or his relationship with Derek Carr? Because I feel like one reason is Devontae Adams came here to play with Derek Carr, right? How does that affect his relationship with the team, with the Raiders, if Derek Carr is gone or removed or traded, whatever, if he's just not here? I wonder how that would affect the team. Turn Raider says, sack McDaniels, keep Ziegler, trade Carr, Waller, and Jacobs, hire Sean Payton, and let's tank. Turn Raider, it sounds like a lot of movement, but I just don't see any of that happening. If McDaniels is gone, I feel like Ziegler is gone. This is why they came in together, ultimately, in my opinion. Like, Ziegler wasn't going to come here unless he was going to come with McDaniels, and I feel like it's vice versa. This is why we brought them both in together. And you talk about trading Carr, which I wouldn't be mad at that, but really Waller's value has tanked. We should have traded him last year. We should have made him prove it this year before we even re-signed him. That was a mistake. You guys know I talked about that a ton. And Jacobs is proven to be solid, so I don't see why we would want to trade him after proving he could be solid. But at the same time, I see your idea. You're just trying to rebuild with a new coach. I understand, man. 3 times says, why are y'all Carr fans? Carr will never win a damn thing. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I definitely hear you. Horrible play calling and execution. Blair and DJ's dad. Horrible play calling and execution. That's true. That's coaching. That's coaching right there. That's coaching right there, Blair and DJ, dad. Everyone arguing about bad quarterback and bad coach, and you're both right. Fire sale now. Yeah, man. I don't know. This is the only thing. Realistically, will Mark Davis let go of his first-year head coach? He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it since he's become full-time owner, you could say. Since Al Davis has left and Mark Davis has taken over, he has never fired a coach in that first year, even though it's horrible. But maybe it'll be different because the expectations should be higher this year. Let me catch up to the chat, man. I see a lot of comments. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Yo, we're about 30 minutes into this thing, man. About 250 people in here. We need at least 200 likes, y'all. Go make a play because we know the Raiders didn't. So if you guys could go make a play and go hit that like button, I appreciate y'all. It's the best way to support for free. And also, we got to get that algorithm cracking. So I appreciate everybody here pulling up on us. Hey, look, it's a spooky season, man. It's a spooky season, and the Raiders are looking real scary for Halloween. So I guess they're in the Halloween spirit. Shout out to Elle. She says, that timeout we took at the end of the game was just embarrassing, too. Like, for what? Yeah, I'll be honest. Leonard. I didn't watch the end of the game. I stopped watching it when Jarrett Stidham came in. I stopped watching it. So whatever happened when Jarrett Stidham came in, I didn't even catch it. But the fact that you even say we called a timeout anywhere in the fourth quarter is just ridiculous. There's no purpose. We should have just taken a knee every single time. We should have just taken a knee. And I'm surprised they kept driving the ball. 24-0, maybe they were trying to make up for not getting blown out. Maybe they wanted to try to score an extra point so it wasn't a 24-0 game. Maybe they could put up something, but even then, it's just like that's garbage points. Like, just get off the damn field. Rick Glenn says, do you think we could do better with a different quarterback at this point of the season? I don't think we could do better. I don't know if Jarrett Stidham would be able to come in and do anything more than Derek Carr is, maybe. But I feel like Jarrett Stidham would cause more turnovers. Now, does that necessarily mean it would be bad for us if he caused more turnovers? But that would mean more success because he's willing to risk things. He's really to just sling it. I don't know. What does Jarrett Stidham really have to lose? He is the backup. But at the same time, I don't see any quarterback really doing anything to change this unless that quarterback really does move the needle. And we would have to make sure to make the right decision because we see people all the time make decisions on quarterbacks like the Browns try to go get Deshaun Watson. He ain't even playing. The Carolina Panthers pick up Baker Mayfield, and obviously he's trash. Why go get him? I would hate to be in the situation to where we are wanting to go just randomly go get these people or these random quarterbacks like a Baker Mayfield. You talk about the Broncos just across from our division. They went and cashed out and traded for Russell Wilson, and they're not really looking that sweet. They beat the Jags today, but what does that really mean? That's like us beating the Houston Texans last week. So at the end of the day, man, I don't see at this point of the season any other quarterback coming in here to change anything whatsoever. Appreciate it, RG. Rick Glenn for dropping that super, man. Appreciate you, dog. 3 times says garbage. I hear you, man. Where that boy Honcho at? I have no idea. I was expecting him to have some type of maybe watch party or post game. I'm gonna have to text him, make sure he all straight. You know what I mean? Make sure it's all good. Maybe he has some coaching situation or his son had a game or something like that. But I'll have to reach out, make sure everything all right with our brother, man. Thanks for asking, AJ Simpson. Most definitely. House Junkie says DA's routes are so predictable and obvious that all defenses already know the routes ahead of time. DA is useless on our team. Yeah, man. I think there's a certain point to where our damn offense really needs to step up as far as being able to call the right plays at the right time and basically just situational football. And I don't know if Devontae Adams is being used correctly either. It's weird because I feel like we're trying to use him in like 50-50 ball situations instead of having him beat his corner and then getting him the ball that way. I feel like a 50-50 ball situation should be on more on Matt Collins' size, and then Devontae Adams, he's a good route runner. Wouldn't you want Devontae Adams to carve the person up and then put the ball on him instead of just throwing the ball up and him having to always jump over or make some crazy adjustment? It's just interesting. It's interesting in that aspect. We try to see that backside shoulder, and he did drop the pass. I mean, Carr gave it to him. He came back for the football. He drops that backside shoulder pass, which I was surprised he dropped it. It was another one to where he wasn't able to get his feet in. I don't know if Devontae Adams is having a hard time as well because I feel like he is. I feel like Devontae Adams is having a hard time transitioning over here. He got to hold up those expectations from Green Bay, so that pressure is there. He got paid. We gave up a lot for him to come here, so those expectations, just the expectation to win as well. Now, also, I'd also have to add the fact that he hasn't been the same as far as character, in my opinion. I feel like him being in Green Bay, maybe because he didn't get that much, maybe because Devontae Adams didn't get that much publicity or as much in Green Bay, and it was a lot more quiet of city or town or whatever where he was at, that he didn't have to deal with so much because now he does a lot of things out of character, like getting penalties. I think this is his 3rd game in a row with a penalty, and then also him pushing the person after the game and just doing smaller antics and kind of, I would hate to call Devontae Adams a diva, but it's starting to present itself as if he's starting to take that turn out of character. That's all I want. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. What's good with the Deontay's? He says, why try to make Raider fans fight each other over a quarterback, any quarterback? Raider Nation, you a true Raider, always will support the team, The team. Yes, most definitely, bro. Support the team. And that's pretty much the only way we can explain is the simple fact that this is a Raiders team. This is not a Raiders player that we're talking about. We're talking about the Raiders team, man. 3 times says Honcho writing up his excuses for Carr right now. Oh, hell no. That boy threw a haymaker. That shit crazy. Dcash Vevo says, honestly, Carr is a reason, but McClain is 2-14 in his career as a head coach. Can't ignore that fact. 100%, man. You really can't ignore that. But at the same time, like, it's I don't know, bro. I don't know. The Raiders have sucked for long enough. The Raiders have sucked long enough. I don't really know how to I can't really put a button on it, bro. I can't put a button on it. King 85 says, Raid, this team just trash from the top down. Didn't address D line. O line can run block, but not pass block. Hunter, Jones, Waller, Carr, Nichols, all stealing money. Linebackers trash. Hate to say it. Gotta tear it down. Gotta tear it down. Let me take a moment to kind of soak this one, man, because let me just marinate in this one because tearing it down is such a process, guys. Tearing down a team is such a process. Tearing down a team is such a process, especially after the way we went about going into the season. Because, like you said, you named all these players that are stealing money from the team, and when you go into a season signing a bunch of players to big contracts, you kind of tie your hands. So now you put yourself in a situation to where cap space and these contracts are going to be financial gymnastics to be able to get out of them to where you could actually tear down and feel like you're building up to something positive. Because tearing it down now, how are you going to replace a lot of these players when your money is sold up in all of these contracts? When you think about Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfro, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in pay. Now, someone tried to argue with me. Of course, it's on Twitter. Of course, it's on Twitter about the cap space for the Raiders. And they were saying, oh, well, the Raiders didn't invest that much, blah, 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 because the only difference that I see is that the Raiders cap space difference is only 20 million. Well, if you take a look at the cap space, you'll see here the offense is at 85 million, the defense is at 61 million, and the difference there is 24, basically 25. So basically 25 million in difference. But when you go to 2023, which I don't think people realize, you have to look at a year ahead to really understand what's going to happen to the cap space when you look a year ahead. Because right now, for example, Hunter Renfro is getting base salary of, well, let's just go to his cap number. Right now, Hunter Renfro is getting $3.5 million, okay? Stick with me here. He's getting 3.5 right now. This is what he's getting. Right now, Max Crosby, or let's go to Derek Carr, for example. Derek Carr is getting 20, right? Now, when you go to 2023, boom, here's the 2023. Stick with me, y'all. Stick with me. I know I'm doing numbers. Some people ain't great with numbers, but stick with me. Here's 2023. The offense has 108 million right now contributed to the offense just based on what we are right now, okay? The defense is 58 million. So nearly twice as much is invested in the offense. So it's not 23 million or 25 million. You can't look at the current numbers. You can't look at the current cap space. You have to go a year ahead and look at the cap space. We are down 50 million on the defense in comparison to the offense. Okay? That's how much of a difference it is. Now let's go look at Derek Carr. He'll be getting 35 million instead of 20 million. And when you go look at players like Hunter Renfro now jumps up and will be getting, instead of getting 3 million, he'll be getting 10 million on top of that, making his cap number 13 million. This is why you have to look ahead. And this is why I criticize the offense, because the investments are there. We made the contracts. It's already set in stone. Dead cap money for Devontae Adams, $31 million. So he's not going anywhere, guys. He's not going anywhere. Colton Miller is getting $18 million, and his dead cap is 25. The only guys who are playing, or excuse me, paying on the defense are Chandler Jones with $20 million and Max Crosby with another $20 million. So they basically make up the entire defensive cap space. Now, this is why when I go back to the super chat to King 85 said, it will be difficult to tear down this tear down this team and really build it back up, because it would basically be through the draft. We would have to build back up through the draft at this point. Now, how we'd save money, if we take a look at this, is really through Derek Carr. That is how we would save money. You let go of Derek Carr. His dead cap is 5.6. So basically, you give him that 5.6. We would save nearly $30 million by letting go of Derek Carr. It would boost our total team cap space to around $60 million. Of course, we would adjust some things. We would make some things move around. So 30 plus this 36 would put us around 70 if we want to be generous. And that's the only way we could really go about it, in my opinion, because the rest of these dudes are not going anywhere. You have dead cap of $25 million for Chandler Jones, $25 million dead cap for Colton Miller, $20 million dead cap for Crosby. Hunter Renfrow has $11 million dead cap. Darren Waller has a $9 million. Devontae Adams has a $31 million dead cap hit. And you have to get rid of Carr this year or restructure, because when you go forward 1 year, Derek Carr will then be getting basically $44 million, guys. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I've looked at that thing because – I criticized the offense, and I really had to know what I was talking about before I really even dug into criticizing the offense, because I knew people were going to be mad at me. But it's going to be tough to tear down is my main point. TJC with the super, he says, drafted 2 defensive tackles, 2 running backs, and what have they shown? Not a damn thing, really, man. Honestly, not a damn thing. At the end of the day, not a damn thing. Okay? Let me catch up to the chat. I see somebody in there saying, watch what Hendon Hooker does for the Raiders. Reese is adamant on getting a quarterback. He says exactly, need mobility. The quarterback from Tennessee. I don't watch college football. I'm not there yet. I will usually wait until the playoffs. Before I start digging into the film and watch college football. So USC quarterback, I see somebody saying that a lot. Look, I think it's time to move on from a quarterback. I really am. I really am. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We're over 250 people deep, y'all. Only 45 minutes into the show. If you guys can, make sure to hit that thumbs up and hit that like button. Go make a play and show the Raiders how it's done. Show the Raiders how to make a play. Hit that like button, y'all. If y'all new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as check out Redemption Brand if y'all want to check out any of these hats, man. Appreciate everybody in here. Reezy Rock in the building says, every quarterback, even backups, play better than Carr. He said, Carr sexuals, tell me how and why. He wilding out right now. You wilding out right now, man. But look, at the end of the day, man, I think it's going to be difficult to tear down. Shoot the Moon says, tear it down and rebuild as a defense first team. I would love to do that. But like I just got done showing, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to tear down this team quite yet. The only thing I believe we're going to be able to do is let go of Derek Carr. That's the only way I think we're going to be able to do it. You let go of Derek Carr. You go out and you get a playmaking quarterback. You go out and get a playmaking quarterback. You surround him with all these weapons. And Devontae Adams, hopefully Darren Waller is healthy next year, because, Darren Waller still has 1 more year left on his contract before we could really let go of him. Hunter Renfrow will be here for sure. And that's enough weapons. Now, if you want to bring back Josh Jacobs, or you want to bring up one of your running backs in Zamir White or Brenton Brown and have a committee, then that's okay. But we have weapons for a rookie quarterback to come in, and we would save that $30 million by letting go of Carr and use that $30 million to pay for a defensive tackle, maybe going into free agency this year. Maybe using that money to somehow pick up a big-time safety. Now, you think about it, a team that's really invested, and this is kind of what the Eagles did. The Eagles went and got some weapons, got a quarterback that was able to do some things, right, in Jalen Hurts. What they did this year, though, is they invested in their defense. You talk about the Eagles and how they invest in the defense, and this is how I feel like we should go about it. The one thing about the Eagles, though, is that they already had a great D tackle in the house, in Fletcher Cox. Now, you talk about they have Brandon Graham as well, another veteran guy that could come in and give you some good reps and definitely help on the edge. So you talk about the Eagles. What did they do to stack their defense, right? Of course, Jordan Davis got hurt today, unfortunately. You never expect a player to get hurt. You never want to count that against the team. But the Eagles, they draft Jordan Davis, defensive tackle. They get I'm drawing a blank. They drafted the linebacker over there on the Eagles. I don't know, Nakobe Dean. They pick up their linebacker, Nakobe Dean. They pick up Jordan Davis while they already have Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. They also just grabbed Robert Quinn. They also grabbed the safety CJ Gardner in a trade. And they get James Bradbury to match up with Darius Slay. That is how you stack up a defense, man. That's how you do it. And it's crazy that, yeah, man, you got to chill with the spam. Reese Wesley, I looked at your comment, man. I looked at your comment, brother. Chill out with the spam, bro. You got to chill out, dog. Like, that's OP. Shout out to Rob, bro. He says, my guy Rob in the building. Salute to you, man. Tony Collins says, you can cut Averett. You can definitely cut Averett. Averett can go. Averett could definitely go. I didn't like him from the jump. I do not like small corners. I say this all the time. If we go out there and we get a corner that's the same size as me, it's the same size as me. I don't even train every day like a freaking NFL, like a professional athlete. But if you're built and you're as big as me and you're out there supposed to be performing on an NFL professional level, I don't want you at my cornerback, bro. Like, I know you're going to get punished. And he got punished today. He tried to get through a block today, and he got punished out of bounds. I'm like, my goodness, why is he still in the freaking game? Go put Sam Webb in or something. Why would I want a corner as big as me? I'm 5'11", 185 pounds. That's the same thing as Anthony Averett. That's me going out there to play corner. Like, bro, no. Get that man off the damn field. Carr for Roquan Smith? Nah, hell no, not straight up. Hell no. I'll send the Bears a third-round pick for Roquan Smith if they take it. I'll send the Bears a third, or if the Bears didn't want that third and someone were to offer them a second, then that would suck because I probably would give a second. But I would ultimately try to give them a third and maybe one of our late round picks, like a sixth, because we have a bunch of sixth and seventh round and fifth round, late round picks. I feel like we could get away with giving them maybe like a fourth and a sixth for Roquan Smith, man. Bring him in, go out there, send like your second round pick for DeForest Buckner if he's available, if he's healthy. But I don't even know if I want Buckner anymore. I wanted Buckner when he was first being traded, which we didn't do. And we always skip out on the better defensive athletes. Like, if there's a wide receiver on the market, you can guarantee the Raiders are going to try and grab them. Think about it. We tried to get AB and it didn't work out, but whatever. Then Devontae Adams, we go and we get him. When do we trade a top pick for defensive guys? When do we trade top picks for defensive guys? Never. Jalen Ramsey was traded. We didn't get him. DeForest Buckner was traded. We didn't get him. Even an older veteran guy like Calais Campbell, who was still dominant on the interior, he was traded for like a sixth or a fifth round pick. We could have brought him in when he was traded to put next to Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell. We didn't do that. I don't know what it is about this team and being so offensively biased, man. G. Rich in the building, salute to you, bro. He says Stidham outplayed Carr. I couldn't get past the 50-yard line with one drive to a red zone. Mariota outplayed Carr this season. We losing now, so new quarterback now. I don't think we get a new quarterback, man. I honestly don't. One thing I would say is I don't think Jarrett Stidham has outplayed Derek Carr. Just because of that last drive, you can't use that as a comparison, man. You cannot do that, G. Rich. I understand what you're saying. I'm frustrated with Carr as well. I think we can find somebody better than Carr at this point because Carr has has wrote his own demise. Carr has made his own bed. He got to lay in it. No excuses, bro. And this is the year that we would have to get rid of him because just based on his contract, we can't afford that premium at that position when it's not developing what we need. But you can't compare Stidham's last drive to Carr. You can't do that. Yeah, you absolutely can't, man. Um, it's the end of the game. He didn't even put up points at the end of the day, so it doesn't even matter. He got back past the 50. I'm not really buying him, man. I can't really buy that one. Lamar Jackson and DA sounds right. Oh man, Lamar Jackson would be crazy, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd want Lamar Jackson. He's a system guy. He's a system guy. Ken K says, Ray, the tape is very smart. That is usually the opposite of what I hear, but I appreciate you, KC. Shout out to Cade. I appreciate you, Ken Cade, because just a couple of weeks ago, people were calling me dumb and how stupid I was for saying the offense was this down the third, and then now they say, and it's funny because people said I prey on the downfall of the team because I call out things that I think are inefficient or may need fixing, and this is like, man, I'm a Raiders team. I'm a Raiders fan. Why would I want us to lose? If I see something bad, I'm gonna call it out and I'm gonna explain how I think about it. And that's pretty much what I do. So I appreciate that comment, man, because I rarely get people telling me this. But shout out to you, yo. Deontay's appreciate you with another super holding it down. You keep it on the lights around here, huh? Appreciate you, dog, and the support. He says, since the beginning of the NFL, the team with the greatest defense win the Super Bowl. Just check the stats. That's 100% true, bro. One thing I will say is that I want to bring up some stats real quick. Chiefs stats. Let's see what the Chiefs stats or the Chiefs. Yeah. Let's look at where the Chiefs rank real quick. I want to see where they rank. So right now, currently, the Chiefs have the number one offense in the league. Okay? This is the Chiefs. So the Chiefs currently have the number one offense in the league right here. Okay? League rank offense number 1, points for. That's what it means. League rank number 2. Number 2. League rank defense 25th. So the Chiefs had a 25th best defense, you could say, or the 7th worst. Now, if you were to look at the Raiders, and you go to their rankings, it's not that much different, guys. It's not that much different. This is the Raiders. We just seen the Chiefs were the Chiefs. Theirs said 1, theirs said 25, ours says 3, ours says 26. This is why it's so confusing right now for a lot of people because they see this 3 and just automatically think it's the defense when really it's like the offense is not good situationally. It's not good situationally, all right? So it's just tough out here in these streets, man. It's tough out here in these streets for these damn Raider fans, man. It really is. It really is. Reezy Rock, they literally became brain dead to Carr sucking. Yeah. I mean, Carr, he got to step it up, bro. At the end of the day, you got to step it up. You got weapons. You're the captain of the team. You're the leader of the offense. You got to make it happen. They said the same thing about Mariota when Mariota was here. They said the same thing. No. They didn't say the same thing when Mariota was here, bro. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Mariota also didn't come in for one drive. Mariota played nearly the whole game against the Chargers, and we lost. I mean, Mariota played nearly the whole game against the Chargers, and we lost. So I don't know about that one. Trady Yankees made our offense score 0 points. Then, hey, what's crazy? Let me digress though. What's crazy is everything. That's what's crazy. Everything's freaking crazy as a Raider fan right now, man. Shout out to Lil Bosco. He says, big Lil Bosco, my fault. He says, it feels like Carr don't have passion to be a Raider anymore. Because they're losing and he has his friend here, he might just be checked out. He might be checked out. I don't know, man. He might be checked out. Derek Pasante says Carr is not good this year, normally average, but he's checked out this year. Jacobs only reason we have any wins. I agree with that. 100% agree. We should have more wins. Josh McDaniels is to blame. The offense is to blame. Some people may want to sit back and blame the defense, but it's crazy because when you go ahead and look at our score, the offense or oh, what the hell? The defense has been pretty, I wouldn't say consistent per se, but I would say the defense, we know what it is. It's the offense that shows inconsistency. It's the offense that shows like weird little spurts here and there because you look, the opponent scores 24. The Arizona Cardinals offense scored 23. Okay. It says 29, but that's because our offense, fumbled the ball in OT and they returned it for a touchdown. Really, their offense scored 23. So when you look at this, you'll see 24, 23, 24, 23, 30, which we gave up 30 to the Chiefs. I mean, who doesn't? 20 to the Texans, and then 24 to the Saints. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, in 6 games, we've held a team to at least 24 points or less. If you were to tell me this year our defense were to hold teams to 24 points or less, I would tell you right now we'd probably win most of those games based on what we've done for this damn offense. Brother Jim says Carr is at the end. I love Carr, but it's time to move on. It is time, bro. And it's going to be crazy to move on from Carr. It's going to be it's going to be different, man. I think it's definitely time for him to move on. Carr has same stats as Trevor Lawrence. Hey, and the Jags ended up putting up points still. So Zebra trading Carr is a start to fixing a quarterback problem we had for the last 8 years. Ruiz, I think it's time to agree, man. I think it's time everybody is on the same boat, and we need to get rid of Carr. We need to trade him as soon as possible. If we could trade Derek Carr to a team that may want a quarterback or think that they could use Derek Carr as some type of weapon in their offense, then I say we trade him. I say we do it. Whether if we are able to just to get one first round pick for him or something, I don't know. What would we be able to get for Carr in a trade? And would we even be able to trade Carr? Or would he just say, hey, I'm retiring? Because Derek Carr, he could definitely, if Derek Carr finds out he's traded, he could just retire right there. So we'll see. Todd Davis in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, man. He says, Ray, do you think all the contracts that was signed this season has some outs to them? What do you think? Hey, Todd Davis, if you're just pulling up, I did earlier in the show bring up the cap space, and I explained why it's a tough one because I still have it up here. Actually, I could bring it back up just for a quick explanation for our guy. Todd Davis been following for a while. No problem explaining it one more time quickly. The best way to explain it is here is the 2022 contracts, okay? And what I wanted to point out is that the offense currently shows to be invested $85 million, and the defense shows to be invested $61 million. So a $25 million gap between the offense and defense right now. Now, going into 2023, what you have to pay attention to, again, Derek Carr is only getting $20 million this year as of now. This isn't including the contract extensions, okay? Hunter Renfrow, another example, is getting $3.5 million this year, okay? This is Hunter Renfrow. Now, when you go to 2023, their contract extensions will take effect. So that means the offense will go from about $85 million to $108 million, and the defense will go down to $58 million. But Carr's cap will go from $20 million to $35 million, and Hunter Renfrow's cap will go from $3 million to $13 million. So that's that's a $25 million jump in 2 players for the offense. Just a quick explanation for our guy, Todd Davis. So someone had mentioned tearing things down. It may be a little difficult. Mike Moore says, looks like Bill Belichick was holding up McDaniels. And we talked about this, Mike. We talked about this. We had mentioned the fact that Bill Belichick is the defensive guru for the Patriots. And we talked about how McDaniels wasn't going to be getting that here in Las Vegas. Bill Belichick, think about it. He was able to hold the Bills offense last year for McDaniels to run the football and only pass it, 3 times with the rookie quarterback and still win. And people thought it was some type of offensive genius, but really it's the defense over there. Same thing with Brady. Same thing with Brady. Brady's had great defenses, and this is where defense always comes into play. When you look at the Bucks right now, when you look at the Buccaneers right now, their defense, I believe, is ranked top 5, but the Buccaneers offense is not. Buccaneers stats. And this is probably Brady's worst year. And it's crazy. Yeah. So the Buccaneers were 5th in the league in defense. Now they're 8th in the league in defense. See, here's the Buccaneers. They're 24th in offense right now and 8th in defense. I don't know what's going on over there in the Bucks and Brady, but he's not able to carry. He's not able to continue doing what he needs to do over there in Tampa. And McDaniels, for instance, over here, he's not able to do what he needs to do because he don't have a top 10 defense. He don't have a top 10 defense to hold him up, like Mike is saying, man. Ray, they could have beat us with 2 field goals. They could have beat us with 1, man. And what I ask people is, how many points do they expect the defense? Because what I'm hearing is, the defense sucks, which I agree. The defense isn't the best, but at the same time, how many points do you expect the defense to hold the Saints when the offense didn't even put up points? And when the offense turned the ball over in our own territory, where the Saints literally could have just kneed the ball 3 times and kicked the field goal because the offense turned the ball over twice in our own territory. They could have literally kneed the ball 3 times on both of those drives, kicked the field goal, had 6 points like 3 times the same, and won the game just based on how bad the offense was. This is crazy. Carr said he had Mamba mentality to disrespect R.I.P. Kobe. Worst loss? Nah, LOL. We 2-5. I'm pretty sure there's been worse losses. Yeah, we've had worse losses, man. But actually, we haven't had worse losses, Boogie, because this is why. Let me explain. When we sucked really bad, say about 10 years prior to today, right? When we just didn't know who the quarterback would be, when we barely could figure out what the roster would be, who would stay, who would go, then it was like we were expected to suck. We were expected to lose because we didn't really have a team on paper that was considered superstar or great. This team was expected to be Super Bowl contenders. This team was expected to be great. That's why it's more disappointing now than it's kind of ever been. Because we've made a lot of changes. We got superstar players. We have Josh Jacobs. He's like top 5 running back right now. We have a Devontae Adams, which is still a top-tier wide receiver. And it's like, what's going on? It reminds me like when we had Randy Moss. We had got Randy Moss. He sucked when he came here. But then he goes to the Patriots and goes to a Super Bowl, which they lost, but they were undefeated that year, and he has one of the best seasons. So it's just confusing, bro. Like, what are we doing, fam? Jorge says, I like Carr for the longest, but I love my team more. It's time to move on. That's right. He does have a no-trade clause. Exactly. Shout out to you, Shoot the Moon. Appreciate you putting that flyer out there. Yeah, I liked Carr for the longest too, man. But it's time to move on. It's going to be tough. But look, he was a great stepping stone. Derek Carr was a great stepping stone for us to be mediocre for a little short time. But now it's time to turn that corner and move on, man. Redder for Life 1970 says we can't trade Carr because he has a no trade clause. Only team he could probably go to is Texans because he said he wanted them to draft him, which is 100% true. Maybe we could trade Derek Carr to the Texans and we could take Davis Mills or something. I don't know. Maybe we could trade Derek Carr to the Texans for a 2nd-round pick and maybe like a 4th-round pick. I don't know what we could do, guys. I couldn't even tell you. Another rebuild coming soon. Maybe in 2 years. Not next year. Definitely not next year. Get Chandler Jones some PEDs. The dude got a low test. Oh my gosh, Prince Crypto. You're tripping, man. Nobody ever needs PEDs. If anything, get that man. Chandler Jones looks slow as hell, bro. When he was chasing Taysom Hill, I was like, get this guy off the damn field, bro. I was just like, get him off the field. Deontay says, did we win our Raiders Super Bowls because of our offense or defense, or even because of coaches? LOL. Maybe I'm a dreamer over our beloved Raiders. Hey, honestly, we just need a defense, bro. We just need a defense. Defense always gives you a chance to win, dog. Defense can stop a team from scoring, and they could score points. All the offense can do is not score points. Like the offense is. That's why I like playing defense, and I was a defensive back, so I'm a little biased. But at the same time, defense wins championships, and it's true. And it's true. Sabs88 says, "Stop talking about the defense, bro. The offense, especially Carr and McDaniel, shit the bed." I mean, Sabs88, you gotta. I mean, you may be new, Sabs. Shout out to Sabs88. You may be new, but I've been criticizing the offense, bro. I've been talking about the offense for weeks. This isn't my first time. This isn't me just seeing the offense now all of a sudden saying it's bad or anything. I've been saying it. I didn't believe just because the ranking on Google, when you go Google our damn stats and it says we're ranked sixth, I never taken that as truth. You got to take it with a grain of salt. So I've already criticized the offense, bro. I've already thought this offense needed to do something. I've told you guys, our offense is a Ferrari that's broken down. That's basically what it is. Our offense is a Ferrari that's broken down. You pay for this beautiful car. You pay for this fast machine. It's supposed to have all the gadgets. It's supposed to go super fast. It looks really nice from the outside. It's just clean. You go sit in it. It's just everything's beautiful. You go to turn it on, and the damn thing don't even start. It don't even start, bro. You're driving this shit from stoplight to stoplight. You never go on the highway to take off with it. This offense should be a Ferrari, and it should be taking off, and it's not. And I've talked about this, Abs. So I know you may be new. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Hope you are a new subscriber. If y'all not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Hit that damn like button. Make a play. Something the Raiders offense didn't do today. So go make a play. Show them how it's done. I've criticized this offense, man. So it's just this whole team, bro. It's a tough one. Chandler Jones is another veteran that robbed us. Most definitely. I don't know why we brought in Chandler Jones. And for me, I feel like people are really trying to backpedal on a lot of the shit that they were talking about this offseason, especially when they were talking about how, Patrick Graham's defense is good, blah, blah, blah. Patrick Graham, his defense was top 10 with the Giants his first season, blah, 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 blah. The only reason Patrick Graham defense sucked with the Giants is because the offense was shitty with the Giants, so his defense couldn't hold them up. Well, the offense has been sixth, and is obviously better than the Giants' offense. The defense hasn't done anything, and Patrick Graham has a better offense. There's no way you can sit here and tell me the Giants' offense the past 2 years is better than what the Raiders' offense is this year. There's no way. There's no way. And then people want to sit back and now say, well, the Giants had more talent on that defense. Shut the hell up, bro. That's a bunch of BS. Everybody saying that is just talking out their ass, man. There's nobody in this offseason that sat there and said, oh, well, the Giants had more talent on their defense than we have on our defense. That's confusing as hell. Because nobody was saying, everybody was saying Patrick Graham didn't have pass rushes like this. He's going to be able to thrive. That's why he didn't really have to blitz, or that's why he had to do creative blitzes. All of a sudden, the narrative changes. I hate that. I hate that. Ferrari leaking oil. Man, that thing, the fuel pump is bad. The fuel pump on the Ferrari is bad. There's a flat tire. The ignition is all rigged up. The ignition's all rigged up because the coach didn't have the right key. So he was just jamming a screwdriver in there trying to turn this mother on. You feel me? Tyron Matthew own y'all. Yeah, he does. We should have picked him up in free agency. We should have bet on that one. It's the coaching and the scheme. Call it what you want. Call it what you want at this point. Call it what you want at this point. Tolokula says, nah, Raid, our offense in a Lamborghini driven by a 2-year-old. You could say that too, man. Banging and smacking that damn thing all over the freaking road, running into other people. I mean, literally. We literally have teammates running into each other with the game on the line. We gave Hunter Renfrow a contract extension, and Devontae Adams was a contract extension to run into each other. Now, where do we go from here? Let's go ahead and move on. Where do we go from here? They shouldn't have done contracts till afterwards. This is what I've been saying, though, Ty. This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying about Josh Jacobs. Even though Josh Jacobs has been doing great, this is what I've been saying. I'm getting hot in here. I'm gonna have to take this sweater off. I'm gonna take this sweater off. It's getting too hot. Sheesh. It's getting too hot. It's getting too hot. I'm gonna take this sweater off. I'm burning up in here, y'all. Find a way to trade Rodgers. Do whatever it takes. I'm not trading for Rodgers, bro. I'm starting clean. I'll be honest, bro. If I'm doing anything, I'm starting fresh with a fresh. I'm starting fresh, bro. I don't want to bring in a veteran quarterback. I don't want to bring in none of that, bro. I want to bring in a fresh quarterback, rookie contract. So this is another reason I don't want to bring in Rodgers, because I don't want to pay a guy a bunch of money. I want to bring in a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal so we could use a bunch of that money that we pay Rodgers, which would be like $40 to $50 million. I'd rather use that money, get a quarterback, whatever, a young quarterback, and use that money on the defense and stack the defense. And if we can, go find a quarterback that is like a Jalen Hurts in the second or third round, guys. I would not be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that. I do not think we need to go get a quarterback with a top 3 pick or a top 5 pick that most people feel like they need to do, because imagine being the 49ers. The 49ers went out there. The Jags went and used their first overall pick for Trevor Lawrence. The 49ers trade up to go get Trey Lance. I would not want to do that. Boogie says, yeah, tired of bringing in old, start new. Yeah, we got to start new, bro. We have to start new. In NOLA, we suck so bad. Best play went for 7 yards. And it sucks. Like, we couldn't even run the football. I don't know what happened. Reezy Rock says, Carr sensuals. Carr will at least be on track to get 4,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions with 6 fumbles. Rodgers could be on coke and heroin. Adams have a better stat line. That man said coke and heroin. Bro, you know we trying to be PG. You wilding, bro. You wilding. He said Rodgers off the perkies would be better than a sober Derek Carr, is basically what he's saying. Eduardo Gonzalez, appreciate you, dog. He says, let's tank for Bryce and get as many picks as we can. I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know. Is Bryce that good? Does he really carry those tangibles to be an NFL quarterback? How big is this dude? How big is this dude, Bryce Young, man? How big is this dude, Bryce Young? No, I don't want Bryce Young. Hell no. Y'all want Bryce Young? Y'all want Bryce Young? I don't know about Bryce Young. Bryce Young is 6 foot, 194 pounds. 6 foot, 194 pounds. I don't know, man. Is that what we're doing now? Is that how big quarterbacks are now? I usually like a bigger quarterback. I don't want no small quarterback like that, man. And plus, you'd have to take him hella early, right? 6 foot. He ain't even 200 pounds. Yo, this dude ain't even 200 pounds. I don't know about that, Eduardo. Shout out to Eduardo. Appreciate you, brother. I know you supporting and all that, but look, I ain't gonna cap, dog. I don't want no damn small ass quarterback. I want a quarterback that's a little bit taller, that weighs a little bit more. I mean, Carr is at least 6'3", 220, I believe. Derek Carr is at least a little bit bigger. Yeah, Derek Carr is 6'3". You know what I mean? We at least need a quarterback. If we were to get Bryce Young, he wouldn't even be able to see over our offensive lineman. He wouldn't be able to see over our offensive lineman. Like, that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Al would keep him one more offseason and let him go with less money. Bye-bye. Now, we would have to let him go right after this season because after this season, his money just is just too much, bro. This is Carr's last year with the Raiders, guys. I'm telling you guys right now, this is Carr's last year with the Raiders. Y'all, this is his last year. I'm telling y'all right now, this is his last year. I'm putting it out there. This is Carr's last year as a Raider. That's all I gotta say. Brian Chavez says, off a Ferrari, that breakdown in front of the ladies. Oh hell no, man. That'd be terrible. Pull up in a Ferrari, but that's embarrassing. That's pretty much us. That's pretty much us. No, we don't want Rodgers. Guys, listen, hear me out, guys. This Rodgers talk. Hear me out. You do not want to get Rodgers. You do not want to get Aaron Rodgers. Why would you? Why would you guys want to get Aaron Rodgers? An old quarterback that's getting like $40 to $50 million. Why would you guys want to hurt your team that way? I don't get it. That does not make sense. That does not make sense, guys. You got to think logical. You got to think logical. You're going to end up paying these older guys are going to cost a premium, and we're better off drafting. We're better off drafting somebody else. 2023 quarterback draft class. You got Bryce Young out there. You got a Kentucky quarterback, supposedly. Will Levi. No idea who that is. Hendon Hooker. I seen somebody spam in the chat earlier about this Hendon Hooker. There's CJ Stroud. What's up with that kid, CJ Stroud? And then there's Anthony Richardson. I'm good off Anthony Richardson. I don't want a guy with a bunch of tattoos of doves and clouds all over his arms at my quarterback spot. I don't think he's going to be good just based off that simple fact. I ain't even going to lie. I don't want no damn quarterback with fucking doves and a bunch of clouds tattooed on their arms. They ain't going to be good. CJ Stroud, 6'3", 218 pounds. I don't know. What quarterback would y'all want to pick up? Let's be honest. Rodgers kept talking about retiring on a winning team. What do you think he'd do with us? Oh, he's not coming here. Hell no. No old retreads. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. No old retreads. None of that. Man, you Raiders fans steaming for 1 hour and a half and still going. Yeah, bro. We're about to hit that hour and a half mark, man. We are. Non-Raider fan asked, can they tackle? And first, they can't tackle Alvin Kamara, apparently. And Denzel Perriman was giving it his all, but he is just not No spam, hidden hooker, the truth, bro. I'll have to check them out, man. It sounds like that's what y'all want. You going live tomorrow? Of course, brother. Y'all know I go live every morning for Good Morning Nation segment. Appreciate everybody that does pull up because that is our regularly programmed schedule. Every Monday morning, we do Good Morning Nation at 8:45 just to get our week started. Shout out to SVT. Appreciate you asking and helping me put that out, reminded me to put it out. Deontay says, I wish all haters a start for Jarrett Stidham for the whole game. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we did start him because at this point, I'm calling the season quits, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be mad if we did start him, but I do not see it happening unless we get to a point to where we're like 2-8 or something like that. And then I could see it happening. Take the coach with them. I hear you. Carr for Roquan draft next quarterback. I need more than just Roquan for Carr. I would need, but they're not going to want Carr though. They got Justin Fields. I would love to send. I wonder what Roquan would go for because I'd love to send them a draft pick like a third and a sixth. I would do that right now. I would send them a third and a sixth for Roquan Smith right now. Try to call some teams, see if they have some D tackles. Don Kaison says, real talk, this could be Carr's last year, and everyone on the team seems to be playing like they know it. That's what I'm saying, bro. And I think Carr knows it. I'm telling you, I feel like Derek Carr knows this is his last year. This is it for Carr. This is it. This is it. Jordan Love. No, I feel like Jordan Love would just cause too much disastrous plays to where our defense just wouldn't be able to just get out of that hole, man. We just wouldn't be able to get out of that hole. I don't think so. I wouldn't be mad if we got Jordan Love though, because he'd be cheap. He'd be cheap, and he's young. Cheap and young quarterback, bring him in here. See what we can do with them. In the meantime, build the defense up. Once it gets built up, see what happens. If he doesn't work out, let him go. Because he wouldn't cost a lot. Let him go. Because we're going to need time to build the defense for whatever young quarterback we want to bring in. We're going to have to build the O-line and the defense for him. So we can make sure this running game is for sure solid. Get Will Anderson, pass rusher from Alabama. Is that the defensive tackle? Is that a defensive tackle? I just want a defensive tackle, bro. I do not want an edge rusher. Please stop with the damn edge rushers. Please. Why not see what Stidham could do? Can't be worse than 0 points. I wouldn't be opposed to him going out there, but I just don't think it's going to happen yet. That's it. Stidham did better in 3 minutes. Yeah, of course, because it's at the end of the game and nobody gave a shit. Like, we can't compare that, guys. Like, let's not go down that road. Comparing a last-minute drive where the defense doesn't give a shit and you still don't even score. But the defense really didn't care. You're up 24 points with like 2 minutes left, and the defense don't really care, and you still didn't score. So, I mean, it's hard to say, man. How you feel about Merrick? I'm fine with Merrick, man. You know, I'm fine with Merrick. He's in a new system. I'll give him his time, but I've criticized him. I criticized him these last couple of weeks because he began to burnt in his new role, having to cover the tight ends. He got burnt when we had to play the Chargers. Everett was running all over the field. Travis Kelce with 4 touchdowns. People will bring up the fact that Kelce only had 24 yards, but I think that's only because we were double-teaming Kelce. Like legitimately double teaming Kelce, and he was still able to get open and make touchdowns. So then you talk about the Houston game. There was several plays in the Houston game where Merrick was getting beat up on pick plays. And that concept obviously hasn't been taught to the defense about how to get around pick plays, maybe even switch on the pick plays. Somebody jump a damn route. I don't know. We're not playing instinctual. We're playing very slow. So I don't know if we did a lot of adjustments in the bye week, and maybe that bye week is what helped us be able to be successful to play the Texans. But at the end of the day, man, we're not getting a bye week. We don't get 2 weeks to prepare for every game, and it's showing. It's definitely showing. I really thought Merrick was going to start with an INT. I thought so too, man. Sanjeet for sure will say how good this O-line played. I don't know if he'll say that this game. I know Sanjeet's biased towards the offense. He's offensive lineman. That's like me being biased towards the defense. and defensive backs. So I get it, but the O-line did not play well today. Both lines did nothing. I agree. Chandler Jones, look, Max Crosby did nothing. Max Crosby did nothing, guys. And I know a lot of people love Max Crosby. A lot of people love Max Crosby, but he does not do anything. He does not do anything. Tanner McKee, who's Tanner McKee? I'm going to have to look this guy up. This dude said Tanner McKee is a 6'6" quarterback out of Stanford. I love my Stanford quarterbacks. For those who don't know, I love my Stanford quarterbacks. I like Oregon quarterbacks and I love Stanford quarterbacks. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I like Stanford and I like Oregon quarterbacks. Thank you, Raider Jim. I'm gonna have to take a look at him. I'm gonna definitely have to take a look at him. Sean Barker says a hooker in Vegas sounds good. Tennessee. Hey, you almost got me, bro. I was thinking you almost got me, man. You almost got me confused on that one. Mirig suck. He late on everything. Any other safety with toe drag swag. I feel you, Michael. I'm not even going cap, bro. I was like, bro, I could have intercepted that shit. What are we doing? Spend that cap money? Yeah, we're gonna have to. Being biased, rated tape, and making up crap, Sanjeet are different. Hey, Sanjeet's my boy. I don't know if he makes up crap, but I feel you, man. I feel you. Everybody got their own perspective. Look, but I think it's almost time to start to talk about Max Crosby just a little bit because I think he hasn't done enough, guys. He hasn't closed the game. He hasn't got a strip sack. He barely gotten any sacks. I mean, matter of fact, I'll take that back. Max Crosby has gotten sacks. He's the only one on this team, I think, with multiple sacks, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, the only players with sacks on this team, with multiple sacks on this team, is Max Crosby. But even with that being said, yeah, Max Crosby has 6 sacks on the season. 6 sacks on the season, 11 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections. I would love to see some forced fumbles. He has 1 forced fumble, but I would love to see some more strip sacks. But he has not been disruptive at all in the past game. He just hasn't, guys. It sucks, but he hasn't. Denzel Perriman and Nate Hobbs have more. This is so sad. Let me bring this up for you guys. Holy shit! I didn't even realize this. I didn't even realize this. Dang, I didn't even realize this. I didn't know. I didn't know this. Wow. 1 second, guys. Let me bring this up on the screen. I did not know that Max Crosby. Let me see. Share screen. Let me bring up these stats for you guys because this is kind of sad. This is really sad, actually. Okay, here we go. That's the stream. Here we are. So here are the teams. Nate Hobbs, trash. Oh, what? Nate Hobbs is trash. I don't know about that one. This dude kind of weird. Lamonte, you tweaking, bro. But this is kind of sad. Look at our sacks. Look at our sacks. Here they are right here. Look at our sacks. Max Crosby with 6. Shout out Max Crosby. But Denzel Perriman and Nate Hobbs are our next 2 sack leaders with 1 each. That is pathetic. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. You can't say that because Max is putting up the most production on our defense. If anything, he needs help. I agree with you, bro. He needs help. He definitely needs help, bro. I would love to see him close some games, though. I just feel like that's what would take him to that next tier of being elite. I just remember Khalil Mack being that one that would close games for us. That's how we were so lethal in 2016. And that's the only year I could remember going back that we had a player that was elite on defense that would close games, that would get a strip sack fumble. And I haven't seen that in a long time. And I would love to see that for Max Crosby because I feel like that would take him to that next level. We did pay him. We gave him a good ransom of money. So I would love to see him go out there and make a play like that. But we also played Chandler Jones. And, SVT, you're 100% right. Chandler Jones here with a half a sack with Cleve Farrell. And Chandler Jones also only has 1 tackle for loss. He has half a sack and 1 tackle for loss. That's sad. That's sad, man. That sucks. That really sucks. Yo, but we've been up here for an hour and a half, guys. Hell of a show. Appreciate everybody that did pull up, man. Shout out to all the members, man. I'm gonna have the film up for you guys here soon. I'm gonna drop a couple of those film studies soon because I know I have forgot these last couple of weeks. Also, don't forget, guys, tomorrow we will be pulling up for Good Morning Nation at 8:45. Every Monday morning, we do Good Morning Nation, talk Raiders to get the week kicked off. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Check out Redemption Brand if you guys want to cop any gear. Appreciate everybody that pulled up, everybody that supported. If you can, make sure to hit that like button. Go make a play. Hit the subscribe button as well. And let's see what happens this week because don't forget that trade deadline is coming up. So a lot of things may be going on. And I would be surprised if Josh McDaniels does get fired this year because Mark Davis loves to allow his regimes to build something. So, it'll be interesting. I'd be surprised if he gets fired. I think he's going to stick around here until at least midway through half next year. Omar just dropped a super chat. He says, bro, even if we get a top 10 pick, I don't want a quarterback because I feel like we need help on D. I agree, Omar. I agree 100%. I do not want to get a quarterback if we get a top 10 pick. I do not. I would almost even consider trading that pick back to see if we could use that top 10 pick and maybe a couple of late round picks and like a third or a fourth in order to move back in the first and jump up to get a second round pick or another first round pick. We need to do stuff like that. We need multiple picks to fill up positions, and we need to hit on those picks. Not a Cleveland Farrell or a Josh Jacobs or a Jonathan Abram or an Alex Leatherwood. No, go get a Jordan Davis kind of player, an actual playmaker, actual difference maker, like a Sauce Gardner, a Quentin Williams, a D tackle that could be generational. And it would change this whole organization, in my opinion, man. But, I appreciate everybody that pulled up, man. Right on, Ray. Be easy. Shout out to Rich Snyder and everybody else that pulled up. We was deep in this thing, man. Until next time, y'all. Ready to take.